If you've never packed for a Mediterranean cruise before, you're probably going to have to buy some new items. I say this because I bought at least 7 new items that I have never traveled with before. And I'm not even talking about the packing cubes that my wife now loves, which helps keep us from overpacking, in theory.
So today what we're going to be talking about is simply packing in the way that we pack, specifically utilizing travel cubes and some different accessories that we have found at various places such as Five Below and the dollar store and things like that. So obviously these are not my clothes, so we're going to talk hubby's clothes first, and we'll do mine a little bit later. So we pack very simply because, as you recall, you can do laundry on the ship. And for this particular trip, we are packing for a 9-night Mediterranean cruise. So what we're packing is a little different than normal in that it's not necessarily Caribbean clothes or all beach wear. This is a little bit more conservative, a little bit things that we can just, with one little change the look of the outfit without having to do just all beach wear like we would on a Caribbean cruise. So these packing cubes, which we will link in the description, and we'll have some pictures of the packaging and how it comes and what it looks like, is simply what has just changed the way that we travel. I was actually a little bit adverse to using these, but now I don't want to travel without them. So let's start with, for him, for a 9-night, like I said, he's doing 4 pairs of like golf type shorts, very lightweight, nothing heavy or hot or anything like that for during the day, for excursions or just walking around the ship. Along with that, he has 3 pairs of what we'll call like dry wick, very fast drying shorts, and some swimming trunks. Because obviously we're going to try out that hot tub, especially after our long days in port. You're going to want to relax at the end of the day. So as you can see, I have just a little bit more room here. So I'm a puzzle packer. He also has 2 long sleeve USPF, if I can hopefully got that acronym correct, shirts, because he burns very easily and we don't want that to happen. So I'm simply just going to roll them. They're not going to wrinkle. It will not matter. And they'll be right here with all of his other shorts. And let's see how much room I have. I still have room. So other thing he has is 3 dry wick athletic tops, what we'll call maybe workout tops, things like that for going out. And when we know we're going to get super sweaty, he can have those for the day.
Move the back cube more towards the middle if you allow me to get more of you in there.
Okay, but it's not too much of me, is it?
No, it's just your dress a little bit. I don't want to get cleavage.
Oh, thank you.
And we'll continue.
So this one still has space, so I'm just gonna kind of slide it over because I can get more in there. So we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna get the next one, and with, let's see, another big one because his clothes are bigger than mine. So I realize this is only one, but he will be packing 2 short sleeve button down tops, like for going to dinner and things, and 1 pair of like golf pants, very thin, not gonna wrinkle too easily, things like that, that he can wear to dinner in the main dining room or specialty restaurants where it is nice to look a little nicer. You should not wear shorts or tank tops if you can avoid it. It just kind of looks tacky. And as far as just regular t-shirts, we've got 3 just soft cotton t-shirts for him to wear. I'm just gonna slide that over. And yes, there will be another one in here. I'm not telling a story, it's in the laundry. And as far as polos, we have 3 very nice like golf polos. Again, think about wrinkles, not having to iron anything and things like that. And I will make that neater, I promise. But for the fact that I have to add more to this with that other shirt. And again, I still have space in here. These things are so great. So if I wanted to, he has 1 belt. It's the reversible belt for black or brown. I could easily slide this in here. He is also bringing 3 hats, 2 for really like going out and about, and 1 specifically for like getting wet in the pool. Again, the man burns. So we're gonna slide those in here because we've got space. And again, I've still got room in these nice cubes. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and zip this up just to show you how great these are. This is done. It has a handle. I can slide it over. This one, done. I can zip it up. And all I have to literally do is put this in the suitcase. Let me grab one more small one here. Medium size, if you want to call it medium size. They have multiple sizes. I'm gonna get all of his underoos. I believe we have 10 pair in here if I remember the count. And 8 pairs of socks that I'm just gonna tuck right in here. Zipper up. He's packed. Now here's the great thing. We will show this because, like I said, we're about to go on a wonderful cruise with Royal Caribbean. I'm going to show you how I use these the quickest way to unpack in a cabin. Literally throw it in the drawer and unzip it. So we'll show that in an upcoming video. So next we're going to talk about exactly what types of shoes we're going to bring and how many pair. I will say don't overpack on the shoes. It's so tempting to just pack as many as you want to match every single outfit. You really need to try very hard to pick something that will go with the most number of outfits. After we talk about shoes, I will go right into the toiletries and where we found them, what kind of deals we found, and just nice to have items. But I'm going to talk a little bit about some maybe nice to haves. So these Tide to Go wipes, I actually found these at Five Below, and I want to say they were like a couple bucks. And it comes with, let's see, 6 individual things. So I just plan to have like 1 or 2 in my purse for the inevitable spaghetti sauce on the shirt incident that's gonna happen probably at some point in Italy. So these are just nice to haves. I'm gonna say these are must haves. I'm gonna switch to, this is a absolute must, okay? So a must have are these wet wipes. We got these as a value pack from Sam's Club, but you can pick these up at Walmart just in the travel section, just a bin of these, and just grab a pack for your pocket, for your backpack, for your purse, something. If you just have a dirty table, you've touched something, you're like, oh my gosh, this is disgusting, and you can't get to a sink, you have a wet wipe. Small toothpaste is great, but if you go to the dollar store, you can get the little bit larger size that it still fits within the TSA guidelines size tube of toothpaste. This is simply just a tiny one that we're gonna like shove into a bag for quick little touch up, we'll call it, at the airport before getting on the train. Sunscreen. So because we're going for 9 nights, and again, our goal is to not check a bag, I'm gonna take the larger size bottle and squeeze it into some travel size containers. But I did pick these up at Five Below for, I think they were $3. So for $3, just for convenience, I picked up one and a tiny sprayer. Because again, hubby burns real bad. So if I can just do a quick, put this on you before we get off the train type of situation, I can hopefully keep him from burning up on day 1. Medication, so let's talk medication. Things that you have to remember are Tylenol, ibuprofen, things like that. Things that if you want them or you think you're gonna need them, just throw some in a small little traveler, just so that you don't have to go buy the overinflated price of some of these items that obviously they're gonna target the tourist on. So just be mindful, go ahead and bring it from home so you don't have to worry about it. The key to our success is we got these from Walmart. Obviously it's the generic motion sickness. Motion sickness is a must-have. Even if you're like, oh, I never get sick, it can happen, I promise. For plane rides, if you're on a boat, if you're on a ship, if you're on an excursion, there are times where you just feel a little off. Have these on hand. The jackpot at Five Below. Some of my stuff came from Dollar Store, which we'll talk about my stuff later. But this we thought, okay, well, what if there's an unfortunate natural occurrence in our room and we don't want to have to smell it? We thought, well, what if we just spritz this in the air, since You're not allowed to have candles. So we're gonna try this. We're gonna see how well it works. We will let you know how it goes, but just a nice to have. It's not certainly not a necessity, but we all like for things to be nice and fresh. And I will say things that sometimes you forget, floss. Okay, like I know that sounds like, well, that's an obvious thing. Well, a lot of times you remember your toothbrush and your toothpaste, you don't think about the floss. I got a little thing of floss, and I believe some mouthwash, which is in my bag. Now this is actually shaving cream. At first I thought it was lotion or body wash or something, but when I picked it up, I was like, well, that's shaving cream. So we like a very certain kind of shaving cream, and the kind that we like, they didn't have. So we're gonna try this. I know this is for, I think technically for women, but guess what? A shave's a shave, it'll be fine. He'll smell like a nice peach. We're both slightly sensitive to certain soaps and things like that with perfumes, so we're gonna bring a bar of Dove. We're gonna be okay throwing it out at the end of the trip. It's really just so that we don't have to worry about extra dry skin or things like that. But on most ships, I believe, especially Royal Caribbean, they have like a 2-in-1 kind of thing in the shower, which I've used. It works fine. There's nothing wrong with it, but I personally like to travel with my own small body washes, which I will show in my packing video. So moving on to kind of what I'll call the electronics era or on the plane zone. Hubby likes his electronics. So what we're planning to travel with is our iPad, especially for at the end of every day. We're gonna be taking notes on what we did so that we know exactly which videos we're gonna cut for you guys. A travel keyboard, which is actually very nice, very lightweight. Bose noise canceling headphones because it is a rather long flight. In here, he's kind of borrowing my headphone case for just some charging cables and things like that. Just nicely, you know, tucked up and wrapped up so that we can just travel easier with it. AirPods, and we are strongly considering wearing a mask on the plane just because it is a very long flight in one place. We really don't want to risk getting any kind of a sniffle or anything when we're getting on board. So we probably will both be wearing a washable mask, which again, we can wash with our laundry on the ship and have a fresh, clean one for the way home. And we will shove all of these items into a backpack just so for easy convenience, ease of use, and grabbing whenever we want on the plane. One thing that surprisingly in all of our travels we have not had till very recently is a cord organizer. Some of these cords look a little rough, forgive us, but this just holds all of our phone chargers, watch chargers, device chargers, all of the things in this nice little package. Just convenience. We've never had one. I can't believe we've gone this many years without it, but we will link this in the description. This is a simple Amazon pickup and very important because of the type of trip, I'm gonna say it that way. The type of trip we're taking, we're gonna have very long days, all just going and taking pictures like crazy. So we know our phones are gonna drain very quickly. So we have 2 charging banks just to make sure no phones die while we're trying to take pictures and video and content. But if it's a just not intensive trip where you're gonna be on the ship more or have more sailing days, I'm gonna say you don't necessarily need a charging bank. You're gonna have access to an outlet or your charger in your room and things like that. This is just because of the type of trip this is. Now we did pick this guy up at Five Below. It's just a different type of having more ports really because you don't have that many outlets on a cruise ship. So this is just one to give you more choices to extend the amount of devices that you'll be able to use. Now because we are doing a Mediterranean trip, we needed to get a European adapter. And we will link this as well. This is our first time buying one, but this one had really good reviews and we actually heard another channel talking about this particular one. It has slots for USB as well. So we're gonna give it a try. It had, like I said, it had good reviews. Someone else we have been watching also reviewed it. And it comes in this really nice case, actually. You don't really get cases with things like this, so this was really cool. And we'll link this in the description. This is a we've never done this before item. Never done this before, but we recently watched another travel video where Someone had motion activated like nightlight things like in their bathroom and in their room, because if you do an interior cabin, it's quite dark, which is fine. I mean, we actually enjoy it because it's some of the best sleep you'll ever get because it is so dark. But it is nice to have a little bit of light just to get to the bathroom and things. And this particular person had it like on the shelf in the bathroom, so when the door opened, the light came on. This one is like battery operated, and it says the batteries are included. We paid $5.55 for this. We're gonna try it. We'll let you know how it goes. We'll show it in another video coming up, and just see how it does. It seemed pretty simple. This is a backpack, believe it or not, in this tiny little pouch. We saw another traveler using this and wanted to try it. So it's got this like nylon material where if it got wet, it wouldn't matter. But essentially there is a full-size like backpack in here that's gonna pop out. What we recommend, especially for excursions, is having a lightweight backpack. It is so much better than a tote bag. Tote bag makes your arm hurt over time. It falls off, it falls open, and quite honestly, so easy to snatch off of you if someone really wanted to. So we're gonna try this for the first time on this trip, and we will link this in the description for you guys to look at it. But we will show this being used in some upcoming videos, and we will give a full review of how we liked it. But it did have great reviews by other travelers. It's especially good for cruising. Just from a quick grab go, it's not super heavy, it's not awkward, and it's not obviously bulky at all to pack with you.
Now before you click or tap the next video here, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you found this helpful in any way. Thank you. This is Brian, Tips for Cruisers.